In this tutorial, the modeling of elastomeric rubber bearing using finite element software Abaqus will be discussed. So, the elastomeric rubber bearing is a device which is made up of alternate layers of natural or synthetic rubber and steel plates. These devices are most commonly used for seismic or vibration isolation and into the bridges where they are used for accommodating the expansion and contraction which are resulting because of difference in temperature. Now, because of the geometry of elastomeric rubber bearing, it can be modeled into these two types, that is the axisymmetric model and the three-dimensional model. Now let's see the modeling of elastomeric rubber bearing in finite element software Abaqus. So this is a typical example of circular type of bearing, and this bearing we will be modeling in Abaqus. The very first step that we should do in Abaqus is to set our model database to standard explicit model type, because here we are not dealing with fluids. At the same time, we will not be dealing with any electromagnetic models. So the first step which comes is creation of a model. So in the left window of Abaqus we can see the model database, and here we can create one or more than one model in this database. So in Abaqus the first model is by default named as model 1. So let's rename it as elastomeric rubber bearing. Next step is to create the various parts of our model. So our elastomeric rubber bearing model, it basically consists of only one part. So let's rename this part as ERB, which stands for elastomeric rubber bearing. So firstly we will be modeling the three-dimensional model of elastomeric rubber bearing, and I am setting it to be of deformable form, because it is quite obvious that when a load or displacement is acting upon a elastomeric rubber bearing, it will lead to deformation of that bearing. And in the base feature tab, I am setting up the shape to solid and the type to revolution. This revolution type, it means that we are only supposed to construct the half cross section of the bearing, and then we can revolve that half cross section from its axis of symmetry in order to get the complete three-dimensional geometry of elastomeric bearing. Now here Abaqus asks us for the approximate size of our model. So from this figure we can see that the approximate size of our model does not exceed more than 300 mm. So assuming that all of our dimensions are in meter, let's keep this approximate size to 0.5 meter, that is 500 mm. Now Abaqus is asking us to construct the sketch of our model. So as I have previously told that we will be only constructing the half cross section of the model and just revolve it by 360 degree in order to obtain our desired three-dimensional model. So I am just roughly sketching the half cross section of our model. As we can see it from this figure, the half cross section of our model will roughly look like this. Now let's set constraints to the dimensions of this model. So add constraints, equal length. From this figure we can see that the thickness of both of these plates are same, that is the top and the bottom plate have same thickness. At the same time the projections of these plates are also of same length. So let's set constraint to this projections first, done, and then set constraint to the thickness of these plates, done. Also it is quite obvious that the top and the bottom plate will also be of same length, so we can set constraint to them also. Now the constraint part is done. Now let's give the real dimension to our elastomeric bearing sketch. Add dimension. From this figure we can easily get the overall height of our model by adding the various plate thicknesses of rubber as well as steel plates. So after adding, we got that the overall height is equal to 182 mm. So I am giving it to be 0.182 meter. Okay, so now our sketch is started to taking the actual shape. Let's auto fit it, and the top half length, it is coming out to be 152 mm, 0.152 mm. The extension as is, let's assume the extension to be of 20 mm, that is 0.02, and the thickness is already given as 16 mm, 0.016. So now the dimensioning of our sketch has been completed, and now we will be getting out of this sketch screen. Now Abaqus is asking us that by how much we should revolve this half cross section. So we will be revolving it by 360 degree. So here we are getting the entire three-dimensional model of elastomeric rubber bearing. Now in this sketch we can see that there are alternate layers of steel as well as rubber into this model. So in order to create this steel and rubber into our model, firstly we will have to divide our entire model into small cells, and then these cells will be assigned the desired properties of rubber and steel as it can be seen in this figure. So in order to divide this model into the cells, firstly we will have to create partition, and to create partition, firstly we will have to divide this entire model into various section by passing datum planes through them. So in order to pass the datum planes, we will have to go through tools and then select datum, plane datum, and offset from plane. So I will be selecting first datum plane, offset from this, from the top of this bottom plate, and we can see that the first layer, it is 22.23 mm above the top of the bottom plate. So enter value. Now this arrow is asking us whether we have to pass the datum plate above this plane or below this plane. As it can be seen, we can flip this arrow. So I have to pass the datum plane above this plane, and I will enter the value 22.23 mm, that is 0.02223 meter. Okay, so our first datum plane has been passed. In the similar fashion, we have to pass various datum plane through our model. So we will be just doing this. So from this enter value, the other plane is just 6.35 above. So okay. Now the next will be above this plane, that is 1.9 mm above. Similarly, we have to do it for all the other planes. So this completes our creation of datum plates. Let's auto fit it see how it looks. Okay, now let's create partition through all of these datum planes. We have to create partition of cells by using datum plane. So first select the datum plane, create partition, select the cell, done. So it can be seen that our first partition has been created. Similarly, we have to create partition for all the datum planes that we have just created. So we have completed the partition work now. As we can see here, all the partition of all the layers has been already done. Now let's create material. So basically we have two types of material in our model, that is firstly the steel and then the rubber. So let's name the first material as steel, and here we can see the various properties of steel and rubber. So the modeling of steel, it is done in the form of isotropic material, and these are the following properties of the steel that we will be assigning to it. So let's see how we do that. In general, we select the density 78504 steel. Okay, again we can go to, we have to also assign these two properties. These two are elastic properties, so we have to go to mechanical, go to elastic properties, and here Young's modulus we have to set it to 210 gigapascal, so 210 E9, and the Poisson's ratio is 0.3. Okay, so our first material has been created, that is steel. Now the second material is rubber. So rubber, we have to give it a density of 1000 kg per meter cube. So in general we have density, and we will give it as 1000 kg per meter cube. Now it is to be given properties of properties according to Neo-Hookean and isotropic properties. So in Abaqus we by default have this property, elasticity. We can go to hyperelastic, and here we have the option of Neo-Hook. We can select it, and then we can go to the coefficients. So here it is asking for C10 and D1. So we can give C10 as G by 2, that is shear modulus by 2, that is 0.65 by 2. And D1 we have to take it as 2 by K, that is 2 by 2000, that is 2 by 1000 into 10 to the power 6, that is 1 into 10 to the power minus 9. So this is to be coming as 0.325 E6, and this will coming to be 0.E minus 9. Okay, so both of our material has been created, and now the next step is to create the sections. Now our first section will be of rubber section, so we will name it as rubber section. Okay, then we will give it the material properties of rubber, and done. Now the second section also in the similar fashion we can create it. We will have to name it as steel section. The category will be solid and homogeneous, and let's give it the material properties of steel. So both the sections have been created. Now we have to create the profile. In order to create the profile, firstly we have to assign our sections to our model. So in order to assign, we will first have to go to parts, in parts to ERB, and there we have the option of section assignment. So here we have to select first the various sections to which our assignments has to be given. So let's first select the rubber part. So from our figure we can see that these hatched section are all rubber and rest of all is steel. So let's select the rubber part. This is the rubber. Done. Now the section properties to this should be given as rubber section. Okay, now all of these layers has been assigned as the properties of rubber. Now let's assign the remaining layers to be the properties of steel. So let's select these sections now. These are very small sections, so we will have to select it very carefully. Now let's assign this selected layers to be of steel section. Okay, so our entire geometry has been assigned from the section assignment tool. Next step is to create assembly. So as there is not many parts to assemble, because we have only one part of our model, still we have to create the assembly of whatever part we have. Okay, so assembly has been created now. So the next is to create steps. So any simulation in Abaqus, it requires uh, the steps, that is the Abaqus carries out the simulations it in sequence of some steps. So the steps can be anything, like initially we can give boundary condition, in the next step we can give a load or any displacements, or in the third step we can find the modal frequencies or the natural frequencies. So let's give steps for the simulation in our model. So double click on steps. Here it is asking. So in Abaqus, by default the first step it is named as initial step, and the in initial step let's give boundary conditions to our model. So let's name it as fixed support, and let's select the domain over which we have to apply the boundary condition. Okay, so we have our model as symmetric case, and it is asking us to select the surface or the domain where we have to apply the boundary condition. So the bottom surface has been selected. Done. Now we will apply this boundary condition, that is the rotations as well as the displacements on the bottom surface, it should be 0. Okay, so the application of fixed support has been done. So let's create another step. So I will double click on step, and this step will be just after the initial step, that is just after the application of the fixed support. So let's name this step 2 as frequency. That is, in this step we will be finding the various modal frequencies of our model. So for this to be done, we have to select the procedure type to linear perturbation, and under linear perturbation we have to select the frequencies and continue. Now in order to get the various frequency modes, I will be using the eigensolver subspace, and it is asking me for the number of frequencies which is to be found. So the number of eigenvalues requested, let's put it to be 10. Okay, rest of all things we will leave it as it is. Okay, so one more steps has been created, that is frequency. Now let's create another step which will be just after the frequency step, and let's name this step as displacement boundary conditions. Okay, so we will select the procedure type to general, and in static general we will set this Nelgium on, because here we are interested in non-linear analysis of the rubber material. So we will have to put this on, or else our analysis would get aborted. Now incrementation, let's skip this incrementation to 0.1 and let the maximum be 1 only. Okay, so displacement boundary condition steps has been created. Now let's give the displacement to our model. So here we can see in boundary conditions the fixed support has been propagated from the initial step, that is, it has been implied in the first step, and from the first step it is carried up to the third step. Now let's put on one more boundary condition. Double click on boundary condition, and now we will be giving the displacement boundary condition on our top surface. Done. Now we are only interested to give a vertical displacement of 1 mm, that is minus 0.001 meter, that is in downward direction. Rest of all the displacement we will be keeping it as 0. Okay, so all of the steps has been created, boundary conditions has been given, and the displacement are also been given. So the create step has been done. Now our next step is to request the field output and the history output. So these two steps we will be just seeing in a while. Before that, let's look at the meshing part. So we have to create meshing of our model. So in order to create meshing, what we can do is we can go to ERB. In ERB is the name of our part, and here you can see the various datum planes and the partitions that we have created. They are being listed here. So let's enclose them and go to the mesh. Here we can see the mesh is empty. Select it, and firstly, in order to carry out the meshing, we will have to select the element type. So element type, it is asking us to which region we have to assign the element. So I will select the entire region. Done. And let's go for standard element, and the geometric type, let it be quadratic, and I will be selecting for hybrid formulation, because since there are two materials, rubber and steel, so there will be a need of hybrid formulation. So okay, now the element type has been selected for the entire domain. Now let's first seed our module. So seeding, it basically means how small our meshing size should be, or how crowded it should be. Seeds, I will be going for seeding of entire part, so let's keep it to be 0.02. Apply. Okay, now let's mesh the entire part. Okay, now what Abaqus is displacing here is the regions which are shown in magenta color, that is the top and the bottom plates, they won't be get meshed automatically. So in order to create meshing of these parts, we will have to either carry out partition of some of our parts in our model, or we will have to do it manually. So there is a problem in creating the mesh of the entire model. So what we can do is, to simplify our problem, we can just create some more partitions in our model. So let's try it. Let's divide our entire model into 4 parts. So in order to do this, I will be going to the parts module. In parts module, I will select the partition tool, and I want to divide the entire model into 4 parts. So for doing that, I will define the cutting plane, select the cells to partition. Now the entire model, it is divided into these 4 parts. Now let's create some more partitions in our model so that the meshing problem does not appear again. So let's partition this to a top and the bottom steel plates, that is this extended steel plate and the steel plate just above it. We can also partition them. So again we have to go to tools, partition. So I think this many partition would be sufficient to remove all our hurdles to create the mesh in our model. Okay, fine. Now let's again go to meshing. So mesh, again it is empty. Element type I have already assigned to it. Again let's do it for formality so that there is no mistake from our side. Okay. Seeds, let's seed the entire part 0.002, and meshing the part. Okay, now there is no warning. It is just simply asking me to whether I have to mesh the entire part or not. Yes, I have to mesh it. Okay, so we have successfully created the meshing of our model, as we can see it here. The entire model has been meshed successfully. Now what we can do, we can verify our mesh. How the verification is done is, we can select this verify mesh. Okay, we have this tab here, verify mesh. So I will just click on it and select the region which is to be verified. I will selecting our entire part. Done. Okay, now it is showing me the various angles that the edges are making with each other, that is the mesh edges are making with each other, and the aspect ratios of these mesh edges. So let's see the analysis check. Let's ask it to highlight. Okay, so there are only few cells in which the warnings are coming, that is the aspect ratios and the angles of this mesh are of not good quality, that we can say. Okay, so here we can see number of total elements formed are 11,736, and there are about 7 warnings. And also we can see the various angles and the aspect ratios which each of these meshes are making with each other. Now what is the standard type of angles and the aspect ratio? So that we can see from this report, the ideal angle between included edges should be 90 degree and the aspect ratio should be less than 10. Okay, so we have to maintain those aspect ratios and the angle between the edges in order to remove this warning. But for the time being, I think this type of meshing is very fine enough. So our meshing part is done completely. Now let's go to history and field output request. So we have here history and field output request. So it has been already created here. Here it can be seen the various histories and field output. So either we can select all of them, and at the part of post processing we can just see which one of the quantities is of our interest, or we can also do the selective selection of these quantities, but I am selecting all of this for the time being. Now the final step is to run the job or to create the job. So firstly I will create the job with the name 3D ERB. Continue. Okay, so the job has been created. Now let's first submit our model for analysis. So the model has been submitted now, and I think it will take some time in order to carry out the analysis, because we have a lot of elements for which the analysis is to be done. So let's wait for some time. So we can see that after a time of about 5 minutes our job has been completed. So now let's do the post processing analysis. So right click on our job and go to results. Okay, so here we can see the various forces or the stresses or the displacements which our model has been subjected to at different mesh elements because of the load which has been applied vertically on the top surface of it. So let's first see the various modal frequencies. So go to results, steps and frequencies. Since we have requested for 10 modal natural frequencies, so it has displayed only 10 frequencies. Okay, I think modes are under displacement, and okay, so this is our first mode, second mode, third, fourth, fifth and so on. We have up to 10 modes. So this has come to time step now. These are our modes. Now we can find also the various types of stresses, like I can find the normal stresses S11 because of the load application. Now the loads are also applied in different incremental types, that is, as we can see here, the incremental time steps has been given here. So we can see that as the load increases, the normal stress are also increasing. Or what we can do is we can just play the animation over here. Okay, we can see that as the time step increases, that is as the amount of displacement increases with time, our rubber bearing, it is getting compressed. Let's see this variation for shear stress. And what we can also do is we can just create a path. We can create a path by using this path tool, and along that path we can plot a graph for the stress variation. Just create a path and plot this graph by using this create xy data.